welcome to Rise and Yoga. Today I just want to take you through a really basic, absolute beginner yoga session. Super simple, couple of poses and things that you need to know when you're doing yoga for the very first time. So the first thing you need to know is there are a lot of different types of yoga, and different teachers and different styles will be very different from each other. So the style I'm going to give you is what I teach and what I've been taught, but do not be surprised if you look at any other yoga teacher or any other style of yoga and find something completely different. So the style that I'll be basically going through with you is a Hatha yoga style, which is probably one of the best styles for beginners to do, just because it is great for holding poses and allowing you to play around with it so you get a nice alignment and find your own kind of place within the pose where you can feel comfortable. That might seem like complete gibberish if you've never done yoga before at the moment, but I will talk you through it, don't worry. So the first thing you need to know is generally in a yoga class there's a specific sequence that we will go through. And again, this will be different for pretty much every teacher or style. For my teaching, we start with breathing and settling in and starting to bring our awareness to the present moment. Then we move on to a warm-up, which is usually something like cat-cows or a bit more of a flowing movement to warm up the body. We move through some sun salutations, some standing postures, and then I usually do a balance, then coming down to the mat, and we do some other postures and poses down there. Then I start to wind down and then moving into your Shavasana, your relaxation, which is arguably the best part of the class. Also sometimes the hardest. That's generally what a class will go through. I'm going to go through a super basic version of that today, just a couple of poses that you need to know before pretty much any yoga class that you do. So the first thing that we do in any yoga class is going to be settling in and breathing. Yoga breathing is called pranayama. And a pranayama practice can be very different depending on, again, the style or what feels better for you. But if you're just starting off, the basic thing you're going to do is focus on breathing deep into your belly and really filling up your entire lungs. And then as you exhale out of your nose, you're trying to get all the air out of your lungs. So take an inhale, breathing all the way down into your tummy, and exhale, breathing all the way out. We also have a thing called Ujjayi breath, which I may do a video on later on, which you're most likely to come across in a Hatha yoga class. But for now, just focus on the whole time, really long deep breaths. Try and exhale completely and inhale all the way down into that tummy. So when you're doing this, we're trying to sit up nice and tall. We're closing down your eyes. And we're trying to just bring your awareness to your breath, not worry about anything else that's going on. Just focus on taking those deep inhales and exhales. We'll start to relax down through the muscles of your face. And just taking a moment here to allow yourself to settle in and focus your attention entirely on the present moment so you can focus on your practice. And then we'll start to just gently open your eyes. Okay, so we're going to move through to a couple of poses now. The first thing I want you to do is swing yourself around so you're going long ways on your mat. And we're going to come onto your knees and lower your bottom down onto your heels and your head down towards the mat, coming to your child's pose, Balasana. Now this is a pose that you can come back to in any point during any yoga practice. So if you feel pain or funny sensations in your body, or you just want to rest or a moment to yourself, this is the pose that you can come back to just come back, be with yourself, and give your body a nice comforting rest. In this pose, we're trying to think of sending your bottom down towards your heels and sending your head down towards the mat. If you want a little bit more out of this, as you inhale, you want to think of opening, breathing all the way into the backs of your ribs. And as you exhale, seeing if you can sit back a tiny bit further on your heels. Nice. So we're trying to find that nice long breath, allowing your body to relax here. There's also a couple of different arm positions. You might like to bring your hands down beside your feet. Or if your forehead doesn't quite reach the mat, that is a-okay. Just feel free to stack your hands in 1 or 2 fists and rest your head on that. Okay, from here we're going to come up to all fours. Now you want to have your wrists underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. We want a nice neutral spine to start off with and looking down in between your thumbs. We also want to hasta bandha the hands. So basically that means spread your fingers really wide and press down through each little knuckle in your hands and your whole palm. So try to press down really hard, spread those fingers wide. This is going to help take off some of the pressure from your wrists, and it'll build up a bit of strength as well. So we're going to come to your cat-cow, start to warm up the body. From here, as you inhale, we're going to lift through your tail, drop your belly, open through your chest, and look up towards the wall. As you exhale, we start at your tailbone and tuck under, working your way slowly up your spine until you're curling all the way under and looking at your belly button, your navel. Inhale, we'll start to open up again. Really extend through your spine, and exhale back. Press down through the whole hand, press your back up towards the sky. And again, like this, inhale, opening up. And exhale all the way back. Really press back. This is your warm up, so move through your spine. Remembering your breathing, trying to breathe deep into your lungs and exhale completely. Okay, from here we'll come back to a neutral spine. And what we're going to do is take an inhale together and tuck your toes under. So bring the bottoms of your toes down onto the mat. And as you exhale, we're going to start to lift your knees and your hips up towards the ceiling and come to your downward dog. So we're pressing your heels down towards the mat. We're pressing your chest back towards your thighs, but not too much. You want to be comfortable here. So if you'd like, you can find a bit of movement, maybe pedal through your feet or find something that will ease you into the pose, particularly if this is your first time. It might feel a little bit funny. Now, the first thing I want you to know is we want to try and really press that chest back towards your thighs. Rather than having your shoulders and your chest right above your hands, we want to press them away. So it's looking like a little A-frame or a triangle shape. Also, even though you're pressing back, I want you to bend your knees here. Find a position that is comfortable. So bend your knees if it's stretching too much along the back so that you can really focus on pressing your shoulders away from your hands. From here, we're going to start to slowly walk your feet up towards your hands. Bend your knees as much as you can. We want to rest your chest all the way down on your thighs. And just take a moment here in a forward fold. So bend your knees, relax your head down so you're looking in between your legs, and just let your arms hang. From here, we'll start to slowly roll up to standing. So we're going to move one vertebra at a time, one backbone at a time, all the way up till you're coming up to standing. Lovely. Alright, from here we're coming to Tadasana, your mountain pose, and this is the basis from pretty much all of your standing postures. What we're going to do is bring your two big toes together and your heels are slightly apart so that the outside edges of your feet are parallel to each other. From here, we're trying to draw up through your kneecaps, and we've got a little micro bend in the backs of your knees to activate through your hamstrings. From here, we're going to take an inhale, lift your shoulders up, send them back and down. And from here, we just lightly tuck your chin in and down to really elongate through the back of your neck. So we've got a nice tall neutral spine here. And this is it. This is your Tadasana, mountain pose. Just take a couple of breaths here. Take an inhale together. Exhale. Nice. Breathing all the way into your tummy. Keep that chin tucked in. Beautiful. Alrighty, from here we're going to transition down to the mat. Now you can hop down to the mat however you like. Usually in yoga, when we focus on our transitions, we try to make them mindful movements. So rather than just plopping yourself down, find a way to get down to the mat that is appropriate or comfortable for you. Think about it. So you want to be present in the movement that you're doing and really think about, what am I doing to get myself to the ground? Might seem a little confusing, but trust me, a little more practice and you'll get the hang of it. So the last thing we're going to do is come all the way down onto your back and practice your Shavasana. Shavasana means corpse pose. So what we're going to do, lie down on your back, let your feet splay outwards, let your arms come down by your sides and your palms face up towards the ceiling. And then just allow your head to sit nice and neutral in between your shoulders and gently close down your eyes. So when we're in our Shavasana, we start to let go of any control of your breath or any control of your body. So just start to relax and release down through your muscles. Because we haven't done a full practice, you probably won't get the full benefits today. But essentially in this pose, we're trying to practice mindfulness, if you've heard of that before. We do all manner of things in this pose that allow you to relax and allow all of the hard work you've just done sink into your body. And it's a really amazing time to take a moment to be with yourself, which we don't do a lot these days. Once you're done in your Shavasana, you're going to slowly work your way out. Do some little stretches if you need to. I like to bring my arms overhead for a full body stretch and then slowly work my way up to sitting, where we do a similar thing than we did at the start, which is come to a comfortable sitting position and just bring your awareness back to your breath for a moment. Notice how you're feeling right now. And then from here, what I usually do is bring my hands to heart center. So thumbs come together and your hands come together and they come to the center of your chest in Anjali Mudra. What I usually say is, I wish for you kind thoughts, kind words, and a kind heart. And then we say Namaste, which I'm sure that you've heard before. And you can repeat Namaste back. So if your teacher says Namaste and bows, then you will say Namaste. And so some people get a bit worried about it, but go ahead, say it. We appreciate it. We really do. So that is the absolute basics of doing yoga. If you remember those basic little things, then you will be able to head into any class and know vaguely what's happening. So feel free to comment below of what I should do next, what you thought of this video, or whether you've tried any other yoga, and let me know how you went. Thank you all for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and I will catch you next time. Thank you guys.